Alright, that was the Stage 3 theme from the recently released Touhou fan game Abyss Soul Lotus. Now, you may have heard of Abyss Soul Lotus before, maybe a long time ago. This game's demo was released in 2018, and it only just released its full version like 2 days ago, so yeah. Alright. Hello everyone, we're here with Sunday TRS. Yeah, let's just get to it, shall we? Oh fuck, what the... Why is the font like that? Give me a second. Fuck. My mic was muted the whole time? Alright. Oops. Thanks for reminding me. Right. Let me redo the intro again then. Earlier on I played a song from the long-awaited fan game Abyss Soul Lotus. The game's demo came out in 2018, so you might have heard of it pretty long time ago by now. And the full game just released about 2 days ago. So that's that's something you can check out on Steam. It's a paid fan game if you want to take a look at that. But other than that, let's just get into it. This is first round for today, and I've asked Lorenzo in the org server whether he can hop on for comms. So I've put RB's run at the end of the stream to maybe give some time for that to happen. So yeah, let's get into this run. The run comments for this run says, there's no special condition or anything, but this run is full of funny moments, miracle dodges, and embarrassing fails. Should be entertaining. And we'll be skipping through the first 3 stages except for the caning fight, so let's get to it. Alright, Iron Survival on Hard is, well, for 1cc purposes, Iron is a game that's quite generous on its resources. You don't have any special mechanics to earn more resources other than just collecting point items, but The game is plenty generous with those anyway, as long as you do some regular pokes here and there, which for a homing shot type like Reimu shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, Border Team is a very popular choice for 1cc purposes because they're just really easy to use. The homing properties means that you can pretty much not bother to route many of the stage sections, and that's actually the same with Netherworld Team as well, with Yuko having spread that can hit the entire screen. So those shots allow you to just not really learn the stage sections that much, and you can get away with it. Now, Border Team also has a very small hitbox, which means that you are able to make some dodges that other teams might quite not be able to. And on top of that, you also have a longer death bomb window, I believe, yes. Border Team's death bomb window is really huge, and that's on top of the fact that this game has already extended death bomb system, where if you get hit and you have 2 or more, well, not necessarily even 2 or more bombs in stock, but usually if you have 2 or more bombs in stock, then the game will pause for like half a second to give you time to react and press X, and if you do press X within that time period, then you use 2 bombs instead of 1. 1 bomb if you only have 1 bomb remaining, and you perform like a powered up version of one of your character's bombs. For the teams, it's going to be the bomb that's used by the other character compared to the one that you're currently controlling. So if you're using Yukari at the moment that you death bomb, then you use the buffed up Fantasy Seal. And if you're using Reimu, then you use a buffed up version of the Border Bomb that Yukari has. But we've already seen a couple of bombs earlier. I believe a death as well. This run was done using increased starting lives, which let's see if they're necessary by the end of the run, honestly. But they do seem to have some idea of how to dodge this. Never mind. For this spell, what you want to do is you want to kill off at least 2 of the familiars of each wave. With Reimu, you just kind of move along with the familiar wave and then kill off 2 of them, and then dodge with the focus shot. This is to ensure that you don't get completely overrun with bullets from all around you. Just killing 2 of the familiars can make things a lot easier to handle. Yeah, not really how you do this non-spell, but it's alright. Kaine non-spells have this unique trait where, depending on whether you focus or unfocus during them, the shots that the familiars fire out can either move a little slower or faster. Ah, that's right, Heart has this unique version of 3 treasures. That's not... What the fuck was that dodge? That's not what I expected, but okay, sure. And then this final should be static. The final is static, so once you learn a route for it, you'll be able to execute it the entire way through, but it seems like they didn't know how to do that, so oh well. They also didn't hit the time requirement for that stage, so instead of spending half an hour to pass the stage, they spent 1 hour in-game, and that means that, well, that doesn't really mean much, but it means that they won't be encountering the last spell. What is that hit? Oh god. Right, I said that you don't have to learn the stage sections much with Border and Netherworld Team because the shots can just hit like mostly anywhere on screen, but you still have to do streaming. And it's still helpful to have a general idea of where the enemies are coming from so you can kill them faster. The less bullets that they fire off, obviously, the less you have to worry about. But for now, it's just a streaming section, so it should still be fine. They're not flailing around or anything, so they'll be doing just fine here. just streaming will eventually wall you on stage 4 or 5? Well, it depends. Like I said, it's generally good to have an idea of where the enemies are coming from. But unless you're starting in like the absolute worst possible positions, it's kind of difficult to get completely walled off just streaming. Stage 5 I can see that a little more, but again, just the general sense of where the enemies are coming from should help you, and Touhou stages are frankly kind of predictable. Apart from just like completely new waves, Touhou stages really like to mirror the positions of enemy spawns, so that's a good gauge of how to judge the upcoming stage sections. But here we go with the Mercer boss fight. This is actually going to be a fairly difficult boss fight. Asteroid Belt is definitely one of the more difficult spells, so bombing it is perfectly fine. But we actually already see a problem with this team, and that is that when you bomb focused and you're not death bombing, which is usually a waste of resources, if you bomb focused, what happens is that Yukari will send out this border attack, but it doesn't do, well, it doesn't really do much damage unless the border itself is hitting the boss, which unless you've planned the bomb significantly ahead of time, is likely not going to happen. So that's kind of a conundrum that happens with this team for survival purposes. Alright, this is the top strat, which I personally used for a really long time until I learned the bottom strat. It's a little, well, whatever you're comfortable with. Alright, well, okay, this is something that you need to actively avoid Alright. So what actually happened there is that they started using Reimu's homing in order to try to kill off the enemies, but with those Death Fairies in particular, they have so many familiars surrounding them that the homing shots end up getting absorbed by the familiars, so you end up not really killing much of anything. If you want to just do streaming on that section, okay, bad RNG there. If you want to do streaming on that section, it's best to just do it using Yukari. Because Yukari, as with all of the yokai shots, when you're in yokai mode, when you're using the yokai characters, this is a safe spot. I don't think they really know how to do it properly, actually. What the fuck? As I was saying, when you're using the yokai shots, you kind of... Oh, they're not hitting with Ran. Fuck. When you're using the yokai shots, the familiars don't lose their short hitboxes, so they won't absorb shots. You can't hit those familiars with yokai shots at all, in other words. So that allows you to directly hit the enemies, the Death Fairies, which is what you actually want to happen. If you want to do this strat on this spell and still capture it, you can, but you need to make sure that Ran, you need to switch to Yukari and lock on with Ran to the boss before moving into that position. If not, that happens and you either have to try to use your unfocused shot to try to shoot it down, or you just time it out. With Ghost team, Netherworld team, or if you're using solo Yomu, you can aim your shot sideways to hit it and shoot it down easily, but that's not really how you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to misdirect the spark, not go in between them. Alright, well, it looks like they're just really not confident of dodging that, which... oh well. Shoot the Moon should be just a simple streaming spell. Are they gonna try to restream this? I mean, it's fine. It's fine if you read the lasers, which I don't think they did. Yikes. Yikes. Oh dear. And they missed the time requirement again. The time requirement is really not that difficult to get, but you do kind of have to actually kill like most of the stage enemies and also not die or bomb too many times. Oh, I know Mercer's final is still a little tricky, but they did kind of make it a little more complicated than they have to. Alright, this stage section is one where it really helps if you know where the enemies are spawning from and speed kill. That way you can significantly reduce the density by just reducing the number of bullets that you get to fire out, but if you don't do that, it's still kind of fine, at least for hard and lower. On Lunatic, the shots are a lot faster, it feels, so it can get a lot riskier that way. But this is a section, as for pretty much the rest of Stage 5, you will want to be able to speed kill these enemies quickly. And so if you're not familiar at all with where the enemies are coming from, like what the fuck is this? If you're not familiar at all with where the enemies are coming from, then things can spiral out of control very, very quickly. Alright. Tay mid-boss has 2 non-spells. Both of them feature crisscrossing bullets, which I know for some players is a very big pain point. But it looks like they're able to dodge this just fine, which is nice. Good. And the second non-spell is generally considered easier as it's significantly slower. Nice. And Tay will drop a 1 up here, followed by the rest of the stage section, where once again you do want to speed kill this as quickly as possible. Not really the movement I would have done, but it's alright I suppose, since most of this stuff is just aimed anyway. Alright, and then we come to the final part of the stage where you really want to speed kill these fairies. Oh, missed one, but it should be fine, as killing each of these fairies will give a cancel. What was that? They wanted to go for the bomb item and then died on the way trying to pick it up, so they kinda just bleh. Oh well. Alright. Raisin is generally a pretty simple fight. A lot of the spells are kind of just blind killers, but once you figure out the gimmicks, they're not that difficult to approach. Ah yes, I don't actually know which final stage they went for. That's something to keep an eye for after this fight, but this is the generally common strat for this spell, where you just kind of go to this gap just slightly to the side of the middle and follow it down, and you don't really have to dodge much doing this. Second non-spell can be a bit random. Bomb for safety is fine. Alright, Illusion Seeker is a spell where you have to figure out a gap and then move down along with the gap. Not like that. You do have to... Usually you do have to find the gap higher on the screen right after the first wave. Oh, yikes! Okay, thankfully they recovered, but if you move too much at the start of the third one, that can happen. But yeah, that second spell... It's not... Well, they spent 4 bombs on it, which really shouldn't really be happening if you know what you're doing on it. But, oh well. This is, what was it, Mind Stopper? This is one of the spells which I would consider actually fairly difficult for Raisin, where you have to move, like, up. For this strat in particular, you do have to move up fairly quickly, otherwise you'll get walled in by these bullets. Death there is kind of expected, which is alright. And then finally, Invisible Full Moon should be a giveaway spell. This spell is really not very difficult. Top strat? Alright, if it works. But it doesn't always work, it's the problem. Alright, there's 2 general strats for that. One is the strat that they attempted to do, where you go to the top of the screen, like right next to Raisin, pretty much, and you will be able to avoid having to dodge any of the rings completely. But there is another generally safer strat that doesn't get affected too much by the RNG of how the bullets spawn, of how the familiars spawn, where it's a slightly lower position on the screen, well, about halfway up the screen I'd say, and you have to dodge one ring per wave that way, but it's really much safer, because you can see that what happened there was that the familiar angle spawned at a very awkward position, and that made the top strat significantly harder to get into. Okay, what is this? You really don't want to be greeting to try to kill the familiar so eager. If you don't want to get hit by accident, it's best to just use your unfocus to kill it off. Yes, you'll be missing some items from killing some familiars, but it doesn't really matter, and that's the last thing you want to happen on the free stage section. Oh dear. Well, they're gonna get the 1100 extend no problem anyway, the Kaguya fight, and if not even this Aaron mid-boss will drop enough items, but... Oh, hello Lemona. Thank you for the raid. Alright. Galaxy in a pot. This spell gets much easier if you do it at the bottom of the screen and you let half the bullets despawn off the bottom of the screen, but never mind, they didn't know what they're doing. That's alright. They'll still get 1100 extend during the Kaguya fight, so this is 4 lives and 3 bombs going into the final boss. Should be more than enough. They've been quite apt with the bomb usage. But I am a little concerned considering how many death bombs they've used in general. Okay, alright, I thought they were gonna get walled there, they're fine. Nice cap on the first non. Then we have a Brilliant Dragon Bullet. Ah, yikes. This spell is really difficult no matter the difficulty, so a bomb there is perfectly fine, though again, it would have probably been better to use just a regular bomb instead of a death bomb, because death bombs cost you 2 bombs instead of 1. Oh! And there goes the last bomb. This non-spell has a trick to it where if at the start of the non-spell you're in one of the corners of the screen, top corners of the screen, you'll sort of misdirect the non-spell and it becomes significantly easier to dodge. They didn't do that, so the density is a lot higher than it would have been otherwise. Alright, we have Buddhist Diamond here. This is a spell where you're really not able to kill the familiars, especially not with Reimu. So it's best to just use Yukari Focus and dodge this. But this is a very difficult spell. The stars move in all sorts of angles, but very nicely done. Alright. This non-spell is very uncomfortable if you're not completely aware with the hitboxes of all of these bullets, in particular the bubble bullets, which only have a hitbox in their very middle near their transparent component. Now, see, you say that death bombs are fine if they practice a lot to save resources, but if they practice a lot to save resources anyway, then generally they should be aware, or at least more aware of when they're in danger of specific patterns. This spell is static, yes. The fireballs unfold in the same way every single time, and the familiars just aim at you. So you can do either a horizontal or a vertical strat. That was the horizontal strat. Alright, this non-spell is random, but on hard difficulty the jelly beans move really slowly and the density is not that high, so they cap that, very nice. Life Spring Infinity, not how you're supposed to do this, what the fuck? I feel like they didn't get the memo that the laser spawning so far down is kind of an indicator that you're supposed to dodge this higher on the screen. Yeah. Oh no, they're walled. Can they make it? Nope. If you don't want to get walled on that starting phase, then you need to start. It's best to misdirect that into a corner. Anyway, Jewel Branch of Horai is a spell where it's actually static. The way the orb spawn is static, and these rainbow rice bullets, they kind of just bounce off the side in a static fashion, but they'll aim at you. So the timing window for when you want to do large dashes to try to restream is static. So you can kind of learn a pattern to do this spell, but they didn't, so they're just gonna gorilla through it anyway, but whatever. Well, they cleared with 2 lives remaining. Well, that clearly means that they didn't need the extra resources, but if anything, I think with how many resources they wasted on the final, it really just shows how lenient this game can be. But oh, yikes! At this point, we were gonna face off against Kaguya's 5 last spells. Nothing. You don't get anything survival-wise for capping them. Just bragging rights. But let's see how many they can do. Are they really gonna cap this? Nope. Yikes. Yes, on normal mode, the Lifespring Infinity spell is supposed to be dodged at the bottom. At least I think it's supposed to be dodged at the bottom. But on Hard and Lunatic, the laser spawns significantly lower on the screen, so you're supposed to move up and basically right under the Kaguya to try to actually dodge that pattern with decent space. And oh, that's right. Because they didn't get all of the last spells on the previous stages, they actually don't encounter all of the last spells here. They ran out of time, but a clear is a clear. 1cc is a 1cc, GG. That was their first hard 1cc, I believe. Let me check. Oh no, there wasn't. They didn't say anything about that, but yeah. Looks like you didn't really need all of these extra resources that you started with, but GG on the run anyway. Frankly speaking, I think for most 1cc's it is worthwhile to learn a route on the final. Even if you don't execute it perfectly, it's still good to just learn how to do it so that you don't waste that many resources trying to gorilla it. But, well, a run is a run, and you cleared anyway, so if you want to go back to this game, or if you want to try a different shot type on it, then there's definitely a lot of things that you could improve about it. But there's one thing that can be said for sure: the resource usage was very good. They bombed a lot, even though many of them were death bombs, which, you know, the game's very lenient with, but at least they used the resources that were given to them, which is a good thing. Alright, what's our next run on the schedule? Our next run should be... Alright, Lorenzo's gonna be able to make it, it seems. Alright, our next run is going to be Lunatic. Give me a second, I'll update the run information. And let me just launch the game in the meantime. Oh wait, no, I think it's a YouTube video, that's right. Alright, then give me a second, I'll get it set up. Ah, fuck. No. Alright, Lunatic Survival is, whenever we see Survival on, yeah, go ahead and DM me if you want to ask anything. Survival we've seen multiple times on TRS, and every time it seems like people generally have different approaches to it. Let's see, I'm curious to see what their approach is here, but yeah, let's set this up. Oh, well, okay, I remember this player. They they have a setup where they have a lot of static in the background, so if you hear like noises, that's from them, not me. All right, let me try to zoom this a little bit. All right, that's better. All right, let me read out the run information. Skip stage 1 until the boss. We're gonna have to skip more than that. First Lunatic 1cc had to grind for it for a while. and try several builds, but in the end I managed it. Alright, let's see what they used. But we're going to just do fast forward through much of the early game. And all of those background noises, that's from the video itself, so I can't do anything about that, sorry. Unless I reduce the volume of the video, which would also reduce the volume of the entire game. Alright, it looks like their starting build is... Hang on, have I not seen this player before? Give me a second, let me check. While we see this early game here. Wait, what? I think I've seen this run before. Wait, give me a second. Yeah, we have. Alright, never mind. We're not showing that again. Yeah, we've seen this exact run before. I remember exactly that that static was in the background, and that build was the exact same as well, so huh. Did they submit it again? They submitted it again in January. Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna mark that. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm just gonna mark this run different color for now, but give me a second. I guess I can show a different run then. Right. Yeah, we'll show a different run to make up for that. And we do have a different run that we can show. Hang on. Yeah. We can show a different run. Let me just go ahead and update the run info again. This is going to be a quick just a quick second. I'll update the schedule as well to accommodate for that. Right, this is EOSD Extra and MMB with Marissa A. Edit com schedule. Alright. Let's show this run instead, since that run earlier was a repeat submission, which oh my fucking god. You're joking. They put a Google Drive link for their replay, and we don't have access to download it. Never mind, we're not showing that. Ah, what the fuck? Fucking hell, give me a second. Replay can't be downloaded. No access to. Forget it. Skip that. Fuck. I'll work something out in the meantime, but so that we're actually showing something, let me just put up this next run in the schedule, which is an MS Lunatic No Bomb. Yeah, just give me a second. Fuck. Technical difficulties. No Signal Bomb with Mima. Oh, PC98 proportions are funky. Right, give me a second. Alright, that's better. Alright, lower the volume a little bit. While this plays out, let me read the run info. First PC98 LMB, some low IQ moves included. We'll skip up to Alice, so let's fast forward. Alright, Mystic Square is the 5th Touhou game, for those of you who aren't aware. It's a PC98 title. The first 5 Touhou games are released for the PC98, which is a Japan exclusive PC Engine device. But this, as a result, these games are not really obtainable or very well known. But they are the origins of Touhou, and they have very simplistic mechanics because of how early they are. For one, there is no point of collection, unlike the modern Touhou games. You have to collect items by just collecting them straight up. And what the fuck? You can also see that the bullets are sort of jittery. You'll be able to see them in more detail once the run is slowed down to normal speed, but there is a limited number of angles that the bullets can be rotated in, and the movement itself is also a little janky as a result. In addition to that, there is also very little game system, and there is no spell card system in this game either. All you have are just a boss with a single health bar and a lot of phases. So that's what PC98 is like. Now, for Mystic Square in particular, it has the dream system, where there is this dream gauge right above the power gauge at the bottom right corner. The dream gauge is filled by... hang on, I forgot for Mystic Square. It's filled up faster by killing enemies nearer to the top of the screen, I believe, and collecting dream items if I'm not wrong. And the higher your dream gauge, grazing and collecting points, alright. And the higher your dream gauge, the more your point items will be worth. Dream bonus item access, alright, yeah, that's right, that's right. One thing that happens in PC98 is that when you bomb, you collect all of the items on screen, auto-collect all the items on screen, with, I believe, double value, which is a bit weird of a mechanic, but for scoring purposes, they will want to bomb item sections. But this isn't scoring, this is an LMB, and PC98 survival, in general, not Mystic Square, but PC98 survival is a little bit of a weird category. Many of the patterns themselves act in a kind of weird way. In particular, I believe that we watched a Lotus Land story run not too long ago on a Sunday TRS, and that game, apart from like 2 or 3 difficulty spikes for no apparent reason, is mostly quite tame. I don't completely remember what this game is like, but it was a pain to record this shit, yeah, I can expect. But yeah, I don't exactly remember what PC98 is actually like, but yeah, we'll ping the people who had invalid submissions later after the stream. Your Mecha is a spike if you don't know how to time out. Yeah, that's right. I remember your Mecha being considered a fairly difficult boss fight. OBS slowed down the emulator. Yeah, that is something weird. Like, PC98 emulators are surprisingly demanding performance-wise. Alright, give me a second. Fuck, where's the mouse? Alright, I'll stop slowing. Alright, you should be able to see much clearer now. That the bullets are a little bit jittery, though. I think part of it is the recording. It doesn't really matter. It's still visible. All right, this section. I remember this pattern in particular. If you shoot the gap between those two fairies, I guess, then you'll end up getting hit by revenge bullets. That's a funny safe spot. Alright, so I remember that you have 4 playable shot types for this game, which is Reimu, Marissa, Mima, and Yuka. I remember Marissa doing decent damage but having low range. Mima here has a decent range and seems to do a fair amount of damage, and she seems to be like the meta shot type, sort of. Reimu's homing, which is okay. Or pretty good apparently. But yeah, Yuka is the one that's really bad. Yuka is a spread shot and Alright, yeah, this stake section. I remember that this stake section has a really bad visibility because of the background. Is the stream bitrate doing fine? Hopefully it is, because Jesus. Alright, give me a second to work out what we want to do with the next part of the stream. I think we can show this run. Alright, sorry about that. Oh! Alright, I managed to catch a death apparently. That stake section actually does look kinda rough. So, if I remember correctly, MS's extra lives are awarded for every 100 items collected. And that's 100 total, right? So in 10 items, they'll get the next extend. MS is 6 stages, yes. SOEW is the one with the 5 stages, and LLS is also 6 stages. Alright, this is a dual boss fight. Yeah, the first dual boss fight in the series actually happened in PC98. But depending on which one you shoot down, the second half of the boss fight will actually be different. Now I don't remember which one is considered easier per se. Alright, yeah, this is the gimmick of the white fairy enemy, I think. The laser that she fires off will actually aim towards the player, move towards the player. So you do want to make sure you don't get caught off by that, and there we go. We're moving on to the second half of the boss fight now. This boss fight is Yuki and Mai, not Gengetsu and Mugetsu. Alright. 5 lives into stage 5. That's right. Is there a life cap in this game? No life cap? Okay. Now, one thing about this game which is also shared by EOSD and pretty much only EOSD is that this game has a rank system that is used extensively. As you do well, generally the rank will increase, which will make bullet patterns harder. And when you die, your rank will go down. It's notable in EOSD as rank significantly affects the patterns in EOSD as well, and it also affects the patterns in PC98 titles. But even though rank is still a variable in some of the later games from PCB all the way until at least Morph, they're really not useful very much. They're still useful like the occasional pattern, but it gets less and less significant. For Morph in particular, I believe that the rank only affects Shizuha's mid-boss down spell, which is whatever. But yeah, the other PC98 titles do have rank as well. Not as prominent as in LLS. Frankly, I really don't. I'm not very sure of how much rank affects either game. But Pod, I guess you could consider that rank. sort of. Alright, and now we have the pre-boss section where for the P70 stages they will fire off just a weird set of bullets right before the boss fight. Alright, this is the Yumeko boss fight. Oh yikes! That's a nice strat. Oh, are you timing this down? Alright. Well, we'll be here a while. Timing out boss attacks, getting low clear bonus, using bombs, dropping items, and dying. They'll drop your rank. So this is a way to try to reduce the rank that you have. And when the phase times out, then they'll just progress to the next one anyway. One more timeout. Alright, and is this also a timeout? Huh. And we have the final phase here. Timeout as well. Alright then. Okay, so you can see the times 0.0 multiplier. That happens if you time out a boss. You just lose all of the stage clear bonus. But I mean, this is a survival run, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's just something funny that happens in the P70 titles. The reason for which is that you fail to exterminate the evil spirit. Alright, this final stage section is, if I remember correctly, it's just sort of a giveaway section. Just drops a ton of resources for you to catch up. Alright, final boss time. Shinki. Oh! Yikes. Oh. Okay, nice cancel. Ah, that's right. Alright, these are curvy lasers. They Huh. You can't just do this? What the fuck? Alright then. So I believe that this is also the curvy lasers that has the invisible glitch that was figured out a while ago. If it's this game, I can't remember. This is a 1 minute. Oh my god. This looks really risky. Alright, and then we have the DR phase. Oh! Oh, fuck. Okay, that's pretty bad. But thankfully we're already at the final phase of the fight. Yeah. I do recall this final phase being kinda bullshit. Very nicely done. GG, that's a Mystic Square LMB with Mima. You got to run at 5 AM? Can't really judge you for that. Alright. So yeah, frankly, I don't know enough about PC98 titles, but seeing high-level achievements in these older games is always quite nice as well. Alright, so before this run, there were 2 runs that I tried to show, but both couldn't be shown for one reason or another. We're just gonna go ahead and try a different run, and this one will probably work because it's submitted by Kirby Comment. We're gonna show a Moth LMB. Now, this is one of Kirby Comment's rare survival submissions. They are usually a score run submitter, and they usually submit the PC98 titles as well. Their last 2 submissions, if I'm not wrong, were both PODD submissions, in which they got very, very high scores, involving one, I believe, a 15-minute or something round 1 Yumemi fight. Something ridiculous. So yeah, the run comments say, "This is my first LMB since January 2017. Quite some time ago. Nowadays I find survival goals uninteresting, but Moth is a fast-paced game, and so it's less annoying to play. This run is very messy. Default, don't skip post stage 1 mid-boss. What the fuck? Oh, if they die to the post mid-boss section of stage 1... Oh boy. Let me increase the volume of this a little bit. Alright. Morph LMB with I forgot to change the shot type, didn't I? This is a Remubi. Not Mima. Oh my god, are you serious? We got 2 bots in a row. I've been getting a lot of bots recently. Alright. Anyway. Morph LMB with Remubi is pretty standard fare. But let's see what happened after this after this boss. Eh? Sure. Alright, sure. But yeah, one thing that a lot of high-level morph players, even survival-wise, like to do is they like to try to do a little bit of faith replenishing, where the faith gauge at the bottom left corner when it what the hell is this death? The faith gauge at the bottom left corner is it's your PIV, and if the bar runs out, then it'll start draining. But if you just do stuff like kill enemies or collect items, you'll be able to fill it back up. So the stake sections are designed, well, at least it looks like they're designed in a way that allows you to keep the faith gauge up significantly. So, well, if there's nothing else to do in the stake section, just trying to keep that gauge up is one thing that can keep you entertained during a survival run. Alright, I do want to watch this optical camouflage, so let's see this. Yikes! That's a typical Hydra camo. Alright, for the Notori fight, the final is kind of tricky, but the rest of it should be fine. Oh, well, I forgot about this. Oh. 2 deaths already? No, 3 deaths already. You have 8 lives in the Morph LMV. This run is definitely going to need a slightly better late game to make up for that. Alright, that worked. The stage section of Stage 4 itself shouldn't pose too much of an issue other than the second waterfall section. And obviously Momiji and Aya. But the rest of it is kind of just simple speed killing or streaming. Alright, Momiji here. Oh dear. Not a good start. Momiji here is a boss that even though she has a really tough pattern, it's generally advisable to time it down at least a little bit. We're doing waterfall then. Alright, we don't get to see this stage section very often on TRS, but what the fuck? Ah, well, yeah. It's because that stage section is kind of bullshit that generally players will time out, or not time out, but time down the Momiji mids non at least a little bit to reduce the amount of the post-mid-boss section that they have to dodge. That kind of just shows you why it's not done, because it's really fast restreaming that you have to do, and they lucked their way through their first one, but the second one caught them. Alright, let's see how they do on Aya then. Only 2 lives remaining at this point of the game. Actually, hang on. Yeah, they died 2 more times, so they only have 3 lives remaining for their whole game. One of the lives will be obtained after the Sanai mid-boss in stage 5, so they've only got 2 misses remaining for the Aya boss fight. Generally speaking, I mean, Morph is a really difficult game all around for LMB purposes, but this is a shockingly low number of resources for late game. Alright, first spell was pretty decent. So we're gonna see how Storm Day is then. Alright, first wave's okay. This wave's fine. Huh. This looks pretty good so far. Yeah, nice cap. Pretty tame Storm Day, all things considered. But it's not over, PWG is next, and that's also very heavy RNG. Nice cap! And then we have the final. Final should be fine. You kinda just dodge the 2 components of the spell separately, or simultaneously, I guess. What the fuck? Well, whatever works. Alright, so they have 3 lives remaining for the rest of the game. So stage 5 in general shouldn't be too much of an issue. Stage 5 in this game is considered fairly simple. The stage section can be completely routed, and the Sanai boss fight, apart from Moses' Miracle, doesn't really have anything threatening. But Kanako is obviously the bigger problem. The end of stage 6 itself can pose an issue if the RNG is bad, and the Kanako boss fight itself has several difficult patterns. So, oh no! Oh! Oh no. Do they really clear the rest of the game in 2 lives? Alright, this spell is static, so they should be able to do just fine on it, especially with Reimu. But yeah, this run's had a lot of early game deaths, and quite a few accidental deaths as well. The death to Hina mid spell at the start of the run. Really have to wonder how this ends now. Because this is either going to be a near perfect Kanako fight, or oh, this isn't a clear, which I don't think I'm pretty sure this clears. Oh my god, the first non is trying the wall. Alright, guest star is static lasers with aim fireball, so You kind of just need to go between 2 positions, and that's the whole spell. Second on is free. And then Moses Miracle. Let's see how the RNG fares on this. Alright, restream. Oh, okay. Okay! Nice. We've seen a lot of very mean Moses on previous TRSs. That one was pretty alright, all things considered. But definitely a clutch dodge at the end as well. Oh, what is this? Well, whatever works. And Sanai's final really is not difficult at all. Two lives into stage 6. Well, let's see. Alright, this is the difficult part of the stage. Starting from the right side, slowly stream left, but at this point the Death Fairy spawns in, and if the RNG of these pellets is very nasty, then you can easily get hit at the side there. But it was nice, and so we're gonna bring 2 lives into the Kaneko boss fight. Doing a little bit of a face manip as well. Alright, Kazako's first non-spell, fairly tough reading pattern. But Kirby's definitely at the level to be able to dodge that. On Bashira should be a free pattern, unless you really fuck it up. They're going for the speed kill. Oh my god. Alright, that worked. Second one is just tapping left and right. Then Divining Crop. Hitbox Deception spell, but generally not too tricky. Oh no! I saw them move down and I was wondering how they were gonna manage the rest of the non. Oh dear. Oh my god, and this Yamato Taurus is not being nice either. Holy fuck. Nice cap. Oh wow. Okay, 1 life for both Source of Rains and VOWG. I know that Kirby is a very, very strong player. Like, but I don't know how familiar they are with this game. So my guess would be that this life goes to somewhere in VOWG. This is very aggressive restreaming on Source. But it works, and oh my god, oh, nice dodge. Kill it? Just killed it in time. Alright. VOWG, let's see. The start of this spell is generally not very difficult, but about halfway through the spell, the waves will start overlapping, and sometimes you'll be forced to either micro some walls or find a longer macro path around the spell, which may not be immediately obvious. Either way, it becomes very demanding, and it's a very fast pattern regardless. Yikes! Yeah... Alright. GG. Very, very messy run, definitely. But that late game performance was very, very good to make up for it. Capped a bunch of really hard stuff and died to a bunch of random stuff otherwise. But it's kind of to be expected if if like they just did this as on a whim, as a random credit. Alright, that was Moth Lunatic No Bomb. We're gonna move on now to the next run, which is EOSD Lunatic No Bomb, also with Reimu B. Let's go ahead and check the run comments. The run comments just saying nope. Okay. Well, let's just watch this thing then. Nice replay name. Alright, we'll skip the usual stuff. USD LNB with Reimu B is also a very popular choice. The needles damage is really good, so on top of that, I guess it's sort of just like a choice for movement speed. Depending on the player, some of them are more used to Marissa's movement speed, but some are more used to Reimu's. But Reimu B is definitely a very meta shot type for this game. Now, EOSD is a game that is infamous for its random elements. This game does feature a rank system, which for LNB can influence some patterns. But in general, there are some very nasty patterns in this game. And we are definitely going to see some of them because Reimu B has a very difficult patch early fight. Right, meleeing itself can be a bit tricky. Let's see if they do it well. Right. Dreamvine is random. Nice cap. And the final two spells are also random. Nice! Looks like this is LNM pace in the stage 4. At this point, they have already earned all of the score extents in this game, so they've only got one remaining extent from Sakuya mid-boss on stage 5. Stage section of stage 4 is mostly just streaming stuff. You want to speed kill these fairies before they get to set their magic formations, otherwise you'll have to deal with much more spam. And then these fairies, when you kill them, they'll cancel the screen. Oh, risky poke, but it worked out. Alright, books. This is a very, very difficult part of the game. Probably the hardest part of the game, honestly. A death to it is perfectly understandable, so that's fine. Koa gets quickly dispatched off, and then we have the second half of the stage. The next set of enemies will start shooting aim bullets, so we can't stick at the top of the screen anymore. And then laser books. Which is actually just the streaming section as well. And there we go. Following which, this is a speed kill strat, where they run to the side of the screen to speed kill these enemies before they get to fire off their aim bullets. And then, they're going to do speed killing of these enemies before they come on screen. And for these enemies to come from the side, it's just going to be a very standard streaming as well. Yeah, one missed pass books is optimal. This is one of the sections where if you don't position yourself correctly, you can very quickly get overwhelmed. So they had to speed kill those enemies coming from the top. Alright, they damaged the fairy in the middle a little bit before they moved on to the one on the left, so that they get an easier kill on it while it's being covered by a bunch of other enemies. But yeah, perfectly executed stage 4, other than, well, her death to books is honestly to be expected, so that's very, very nicely done. And we move on to the RNG part of the game now. Patchouli is a very nasty boss fight. The spells vary based on the shot type that you're using. For Reimubi, she definitely has a few very, very rude patterns. This is one of them. If the bubble RNG is nasty, you can be forced to make some very awkward dodges. But nice cap. Alright, Water Elf here. Also a very, well, this pattern can catch you off guard. That's pretty much all it is. But it looks like they'll be fine on it. Yeah, Patchy's being nice as well. Mercury Poison is a static pattern, I believe, so dependent on rank. But they should be able to dodge it just fine. Especially since it's at max rank currently. Nice. And finally, Emerald Megalith. This is the problematic one. Bubble hitboxes in this game are very awkward to deal with. Sheesh! That's a wall. Alright. Oh. Two miss stage 4 is a very, very good pace though, I'd say. So... Oh, are they doing this stage ethically? Oh my. Okay, they're not. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, this stage section gets a bit ridiculous if you try to do it at the bottom. So it's a lot safer to just dodge it at the top there. You do miss all of the items, but it's a survival run, who cares? And wall fairies, that positioning earlier allows them to... Are you fucking serious? Alright, just flex. Oh, not safe spotting the mid-non. Alright then. The mid-non itself is not really that difficult, but... they're just gonna shoot it down, that's fine. There is a safe strat that you can do where you stand above Sakuya, and you're still able to hit her with your shots, but you're completely safe that way. Nice misdirection cap, and then we have the post mid boss section, which if people do the top strat, safe strat on the mid-non, then they will also generally time down the mid-non so that they skip as much of this section as possible, because it can get a little cluttered at times, but it's also not too difficult at this level. And to end off the stage, a little bit of streaming. Alright, 6 lives into Sakuya. Well, stage 5 is really not something that you should be dying to, unless you fuck up the first half of the stage and die to wall fairies or something. Oh, okay, well, that's a wall. Yikes. Alright, yeah, Sakuya and Remelia are definitely two very heavy RNG bosses with many patterns that can just wall you out of nowhere. Pretty much like almost all of the rough RNG patterns, the really rough RNG patterns have been rough this run, so... Let's see how second on acts. With a cancel it should be fine though. Yeah, with a cancel it can be killed very quickly. Second spell has a misdirection. Huh? Not gonna misdirect? Well, I guess this is a speed kill strat then. That's alright. Final non. This can definitely still be nasty. But it looks like it's gonna be pretty nice this time. Alright. And the final, Killing Doll. Very heavy RNG pattern. Sometimes the knives will like to wall you in by not transforming enough, or sometimes the knife from behind will turn around and try to stab you from the back, like that. Eeks. All things considered, not an awful Killing Doll, but a nice cap. Very nice cap. We're gonna move on to stage 6 with 5 lives remaining, which is very good pace, I'd say. Remelia definitely still has a bunch of nasty patterns, but barring making a lot of stupid mistakes from this point on, this run is on very good pace. Alright, the stage 6 mid-non itself, you can read these walls pretty far ahead of time, but if you pick the wrong gap, you can't get walled off completely. And then Eternal Meek, they're gonna do this ethically. Oh, nice dodging. Oh my geesh. Okay, oh my god. Meek ethically is always terrifying. Always terrifying. But that was a very nice cap. There is a safe spot that you can do on Meek, but you have to position yourself very quickly. So if you're not confident in going for the safe spot, then trying to dodge it is okay, but I mean, honestly, dodging Meek itself is a big ask to begin with. Alright, Young Demon Lord here. A spell about picking the right gap so that you can dodge those bubble waves comfortably. Second non-spell is static-ish. Thousand Needle Mountain. Heavy micro spell. But they should be able to handle it. Yeah, nice. Knife non here. Really easy unless you try to pocket. And Vampire Illusion. Here we go. The RNG begins. First wave is fine. Second wave is free. Third wave is free. Fourth wave is free. This is a really nice VI. Didn't get walled at all on that. But then we have this non-spell where she'll go through 3 phases. Cycle through 3 phases, and she's invulnerable unless she's not firing, so quick kill there. And Meister. Very heavy RNG pattern again. Very difficult. But they're executing it beautifully. Oh, nice. Nicely done. And the final with 5 lives. Yo! Really, really good Remit boss fight so far. Yeah, this is looking like a stage 6 no miss no bomb unless they get hit here. Oh! Nice. Made it through. Alright, this spell can definitely still wall. But it looks like the waves are being nice again. Where the bulk of the bullets that can wall you are not moving towards the player. Once again, nice wave. Yeah, this nice dodge. Wow, 6-6 no miss no bomb. Absolutely incredible. This is well, calling it an LMV honestly feels unfair. This is really, really good. My goodness, 3 miss. Yeah, 3 miss no bomb for the whole game. What was I even 2 anyway? One was to books, and then one was to Emerald Megalith, and one dash to Sakuya's first non-spell. That's a shit ton of really, really well done patterns there then. Like, we don't get to see this very often on TRS, but very, very nicely done. I actually do understand the replay name now. Remy no miss no bomb. Probably the the first run was the UM run was a repeat, and then the EOSD extra run was I can't download it. You can't download it because the access got restricted. Yeah, other than the death to Sakuya's opener, which honestly that RNG was like pretty dreadful, everything else was done very nicely. So yeah, that's very, very well done. Not what I was expecting, but perhaps I should have been, because honestly, I do seem to recall PRS being a very high level player as well. But we're gonna move on now to our next run, which is going to be DDC Lunatic No Miss No Bomb with Reimu A. DDC is a game that can be broken apart by certain shot types. Reimu A is one of them. But it is still not a free NNMB. Not Sakuyabi. My dude. Don't expect a Sakuyabi no miss no bomb out of the average player. that's not something that most people can do. Don't expect that out of a high level player too. Yeah. Sakuyabi no miss no bomb has been accomplished by how many people? Is it 2? I can't even remember. I think 2 Sock and Yachts. Yeah, that's it. Out of the entire world of high level LNN players, only 2 of the top players have accomplished it. It is ridiculous. DDC is a very ridiculous game, and it's only with specific shot types that can actually like alleviate much of its difficulty. Oh wow, DDC's the volume is really low. Let me increase that. Alright. While that happens, let's check the run comments. This is my favorite LNN so far, but now I can't get Kagero's theme out of my head. Understandable. And the run skips just say show Kagero, which I was gonna do anyway because Kagero is a very stupid boss fight anyway. Alright, let's see this. LNN run on TRS is always quite rare, so let's see how well they do. I mean, they LNN did, so they did very well, but let's see how they performed throughout the whole game. Now, for those of you who might be not so familiar with this game, DDC is a game where the shot type that you pick determines its difficulty. Yes, the game's patterns are really difficult, but 3 of the shot types in this game break the game apart, and 3 of them are worthless. Well, next to worthless. The 3 shot types that break the game apart for 1cc are Reimu A, Mercer B, and Sakuya A. Reimu A and Sakuya A can deal a ridiculously high amount of damage using specific tricks that I'm going to explain later into this run. Marissa B has a really broken bomb that allows you to farm like a shit ton of lives, like literally well over 20 lives or something. So if you use those shots well, a 1cc is fairly simple. For higher level play like LMB and LNN for survival purposes, Marissa B it becomes a very mid-tier shot type with decent damage, but ends up having a very not being so good. Well, Reimu A and Sakuya A, they always had very good shots to begin with, so they're still prime picks. With the other 3 shot types, Reimu B, Marissa A, and Sakuya B, your damage is much weaker, and as such, the entire game becomes significantly harder. Now, Kagero, for being a stage 3 boss fight, is widely considered one of the hardest bosses in the game due to how ridiculously difficult her RNG patterns can be. And it is only because Reimu A and Sakuya A are able to kill these patterns in fewer waves than other shot types that they have an easier time on this boss. Very nice second spell. Let's see this final. Moving back down to the middle. Alright. Alright, nice. Alright. So we're gonna go into stage 4 now, and I'm gonna try to explain why this shot type is considered very good. First of all, homing helps at the stages. DDC stages are... Well, DDC as a whole is a game where homing is actually very beneficial. Sakura A and Reimu A are both homing shot types, and the homing can definitely help deal with the stage sections. Reimu A in particular is the best at dealing with stage sections. And this is one of the rare games where Reimu's homing can actually do very, very good damage. Usually the homing shot type will be a very weak damage shot type, but this game is an exception because of the focus shot being the Gohei. Now the Gohei will lock onto enemies and then start killing them, but with regard to boss fights, the Gohei will actually drift apart from the boss to the point where only the edge of the Gohei itself will be hitting the boss. Now, what you can do is you can unfocus to despawn the Gohei and then refocus. And if you're close enough to the boss, the Gohei will actually spawn on top of the boss, which allows the entire Gohei to do damage, and the damage that deals is actually very significant. So constant Gohei repositioning is one of the ways to ensure that you deal a lot of damage with the shot type. But the other way, as you might have seen, is that when you unfocus, the Gohei doesn't immediately despawn. And that means that you can actually get a couple of homing shots out from the unfocused shot while the Gohei is still on screen. And if you refocus in time, the Gohei will still be on screen and still connected to the boss, which allows you to just add that little extra bit of damage, and that combined with the repositioning of the Gohei is pretty much why Reimu A can do so much damage despite being a homing shot. If you don't do this repositioning and if you don't do this shift mashing, then Reimu A's damage is actually not so good, frankly speaking. If only part of the Gohei is hitting the boss, then you're actually going to be killing the bosses fairly slowly. But it's because Reimu A has such good stage sections, which makes these stage sections look significantly easier than they would actually be if you used another shot that doesn't have such good stage capabilities. And for LMB purposes, part of it is also that Reimu A, being able to kill so many enemies from all around the screen, is able to perform some 2.0s that other shot types have very, very high difficulty getting. Alright, and now we have the stage 4 boss fight for A shots, Ben Ben Tsukumo. Ben Ben is a boss fight where speed kills are essential. Marissa A is a terrible shot type because she doesn't have homing, for one. Which this boss pretty much demands. And other than that, she also does not have very high damage unless you're shotgunning below the boss, which is a problem because this boss has some very funky non-spells. That was a very fast kill, but if you're using something like Marissa A, good luck. Alright, nice second spell, and then this third non-spell also needs to be a speed kill. Misdirect to the side, and then go down to the bottom to try to speed kill it before it overwhelms you. Nicely done. And finally, double score, another pattern that pretty much just needs to be speed killed because the RNG of this pattern can get very stupid sometimes. Now, the lasers themselves are actually readable, but it's the RNG of these rest nodes and quaver nodes that can sometimes wall you off. But very nicely done. Yeah, you got pretty nice RNG there. I'll let him paste in the stage 5. Quaver nodes. Quaver is a term for musical term. Alright, stage 5 is shouldn't be too much of a problem with Rainbow A. Oh, Rainbow has such a free section here. I did Rainbow B scoring on Lunatic for a little bit for a local competition, and I wish the stage sections were this simple. Alright. No, it was Rainbow B. Wait, no, fuck. No, I forgot. Yeah, it was Rainbow A. No, there was no way I'll be able to do Rainbow B. Yeah, it was Rainbow A. But scoring that section is yeah, the Gohei manip is a little weird. I think I tried Rainbow B on lower difficulties. This is what that was. Yeah, I misremembered. The stake section is really easy with Rainbow anyway, yeah. You can literally see that like nothing's getting the fire off, but this is, if you let these fairies shoot, the middle of the screen gets blocked off by a barrage of icicles, and then those jelly beans can be quite dense. But yeah, Rainbow A just doesn't care because the Gohei just deletes the stages. Alright, end of the stage here, where you can actually see that one of the waves of the enemies here despawned off the top of the screen. Very nicely done, Zun. Alright, Seija boss time. Seija is a boss fight where she will flip your screen and accordingly your controls. This first spell flips your horizontal controls, so in order to move left on the screen relatively, you'll have to tap right, and vice versa. But speed kills means that you don't have to really dodge too much of that before it gets too much of a problem. First spell's not considered that difficult anyway, it's the second spell that starts being a problem. This spell flips your vertical controls, but you're also forced to do vertical movement to dodge these fireballs. But, nicely done. Non-spells are pretty free, especially with Rainbow hitbox. And then Dreambow. This spell is also a speed kill pattern. Though I'm surprised that you're not doing the shift mashing at all. I guess it's just a personal choice. Nicely done. And then change Air Brave for the final. This spell can be learned to make it much easier to handle. Shift mashing does hurt, yeah. Alright. Stage 6 stage section shouldn't have anything too difficult with Rainbow A being able to speed kill these enemies. You're trying to do the dupe? Oh. So what Albi's referring to in chat here is that there is a glitch with the Gohei that, under specific circumstances that I'm not too confident of myself, you are able to cause the Gohei to duplicate so that you spawn 2 or more Goheis at once. Some players are able to do it so well that they can spawn 4 Goheis at once, which ends up being very high damage, like really even higher damage than than you can do with the Gohei repositioning and stuff. If I recall correctly, we actually did have a Gohei duper player on TWC at one point, Tower Haya, and they were very good at it, and you could tell that, like, with how well they were doing the Gohei dupes, they were able to just absolutely melt the bosses with with quite a bit of effort. But yeah. Ew! First non is nasty. Alright, first spell. This spell can get very spooky, but the RNG, it depends somewhat on the oh, why did you sorry. It depends somewhat on the RNG of these gaps. Ironically, if the gaps cluster too much in one spot, it can actually make the spell more difficult as well. But nicely done. Alright, second non, are we just gonna dodge this at the bottom? Sure. Eee. Oh god. Eee. Why do this? Fuck. Why? Alright, second spell can be speed killed using the Gohei. Yeah, should die very soon. Third non has a shimmy moving in the triangle formation, but thanks to the speed kill of the Gohei, you won't have to deal with much of this. And then Shining Needle Sword. This spell is static. Though your Gohei is already all the way on the side and it's not really doing any damage because it's hitting the side of the bowl. But nicely done. Oh, okay. Laser non was nice. And we have the survival. This is a survival where your hitbox gets greatly expanded. But Rainbow has a significant advantage compared to the other 2 characters in this game, because the hitbox increase makes the other character's hitbox bigger than the sprite shown here. I don't know how effective mashing really is on spell 3. If you just route it to dodge it normally, you should be better off than trying to speed kill it. Alright. Survival's pretty simple. And then we have Wall of Isun here, where the strat is to just try to trigger these orbs in a clump near the top of the screen, such that you can move down to de-trigger them and then re-trigger them by simply moving up. Fucking up near the end of the spell is alright. And the final. There is a speed kill strat you can do with the Gohei here, which you didn't do it here. If the Gohei is actually at the top of, like, moving to the top of Shimyomaru instead of to the bottom and hitting the bowl, then you can actually do significantly more damage and kill this in very, very quickly. One good setup for it would be starting in the top right corner of the screen and then shift using focus and moving down to the bottom and never letting go of focus. Honestly, I find the speed kill strat with the Gohei to be significantly better to do this spell consistently, but this spell itself is also mostly routed. The blue orbs are static, and the only RNG I believe are the green orbs, which are random. But nicely done. GG. That is an LNN. Always nice to see an LNN run on TRS. Reimu A, very good showcase of what Reimu A can do in this game. And yeah, you didn't. I mean, strictly speaking, optimally, shift spamming would allow you to do even more damage, but it is very painful to do. So, very nice dodging. Alright, second last run of the stream is going to be iOS scoring. iOS EIOS is a Touhou fan game, Chinese fan game released a couple years back. I'll explain the game system as it goes, but it's very unique. Give me a second. They use the Reimu Yukari, which is one of the 3 combos in the game. This run was by Taragat. All right. Let's see if this fits. All right. I'll have to mess with this again. Something like that. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let me read the run info. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what I was doing for the most part. I just wanted the scoring achievements. The 3,500 dice one is suspect. Early game is pretty meh. Stage 4 and 5 went great, and stage 6 feels bad, man. Skips are the default for scorings. I don't know what that is. Alright, this game is very long. It's a 37-minute video, so I am going to skip through the early game. But alright, I'll try to explain the scoring system in this game. So first things first, your shots. When you're unfocused, you are not able to hit any of the smaller fairies on screen. It's only a focus shot that's able to kill them. If you kill an enemy a small enemy directly, usually they will spawn a lot of revenge bullets, which is bad. But you can see that these large fairies always have this circle around them. If you kill the large fairies, they will kill all of the enemies within that circle. And that is the crux of scoring in this game. You want to make sure that you catch almost all of the stage enemies within these circles in order to get the most amount of score possible. You can cancel bullets using these circles, and they will turn into PIV. But killing enemies like that will also cause them to drop life, bomb, and score items. The red, green, and blue cubes respectively. Grazing doesn't really do anything in this game, by the way. I think just a little bit of score, if I remember correctly. Stage 1 boss is Kaguya. You can see at the bottom right of the screen there is a number. There is a target number of enemies killed through the circles per stage, and if you're satisfied that, then you'll encounter the last spell. And Kaguya's last spell here on Lunatic is very stupid. Very stupid for a stage 1 last spell. But they kept it anyway. Also, the translation in this game is a bit of a meme. Alright, so pretty much the crux of scoring in this game is to execute the stages perfectly. That's the really most important part of it, because that's where most of your score is going to come from. And that means that you need to learn how to do the stages and how to kill all of the stage enemies through these circles perfectly. If you do that well, then you are going to be able to get the score achievements fairly easily. I can actually check right now on my Steam what the achievements exactly are. Alright, the achievements are to get 15 bill on main game on the 1cc, as well as reaching 3,500 total enemies killed through these circles. Alright, that's Yukari's bomb. Very strong bomb for trying to get PIV, I'd say. Oh! Rough hit. But it doesn't really matter. Apart from losing the spell card bonus, you don't really lose anything from dying, from getting hit on bosses. And the death window in this game is ginormous, like half a second, so you really won't be having any issues there. Stage 2 last spell is static. Alright, stage 3's stage 3's scoring is a little complicated, but we're gonna see a theme of this game where, in order to get the most number of enemies killed through these circles, you actually do want to delay your kills somewhat. That will allow you to then catch more enemies that might spawn in at a slightly later timing. They missed some enemies there. That's alright. Stage 3 has this gimmick where you will fight different bosses based on the team that you're facing. Based on the team that you're playing, and you'll face a different team. For Border Team, you'll fight For Border Team, you'll fight Kane and Moko. But you can see the theme of this stage is to increase the size of the circle on the ferry train by using the circles to kill off some of the ferries on the back of the ferry train. That way you can make the circle even larger to catch even more enemies, and they screwed up the end of it, but whatever. Oh! Yeah, that non can be a bit rough. But again, there's like next to no penalty for getting hit on the bosses. Unless you get hit on a spell and you lose the spell card bonus. For the stage sections, you will want to do them no miss no bomb anyway. Bombing the stage sections will lead to killing a lot of enemies too quickly, which is very bad for scoring. Oh. The stage 3 boss fights are kinda tough. This spell's kind of weird, but you just need to misdirect these aim things. And then the last spell is a solo spell from Moko. It's a survival. Nicely done. Where's my mouse? Fuck. Alright. For the start of stage 4, you will want to kill these fairies after they reach near the top of the screen. And you'll want to move up to the top as well to make sure that these small fairies also are lingering around there instead of like running off to the bottom of the screen. For this section, you want to make sure that you just catch as many fairies as you can in these circles as they expand. Which means you do have to delay your kill somewhat. This section, you just need to overlap these two circles and kill them. If you kill... Okay, so the exact type of cube item that you get out of these small fairies is dependent on which color actually kills them. You can see that these small fairies, well, you can't really see, but these small fairies start out without any color on them by default. And you have to basically catch them twice with the circle to kill them. So if you catch them and kill them with the blue circle, then you get a blue cube out of it, which is better for scoring. But the red cubes will give you life pieces. It's basically a life piece. And the green cubes, you'll only get them by killing enemies without using the circles, but they'll give you bombs. Alright, we're reaching the end of the stage here. This section is pretty much done by just constantly firing. There's not much you can do to optimize it, other than maybe try to choose what color you kill the fairies with. But you want to make sure that you kill all of these large fairies here, because there is a bonus fairy that will spawn at the end of this section. And perhaps you've already noticed, but killing these large fairies also cancel all of the bullets in those circles, which is pretty important for this game, because the patterns are quite rough. Alright, the bonus fairy spawned as soon as the last fairy was killed. And if you let it live until the very end of the stage, it'll start growing a circle while all of these fairies close in, and you're able to cancel all of these fairies and bullets for a giant cancel at the end of the stage, which is almost certainly necessary to reach the last spell requirement for this stage. And we're gonna face the stage 4 boss now. Stage 4 boss has some very fun non-spells. This one's just aim though. They're gonna stall for a good cancel. And first spell here, you're able to kill off the clams before they open up. And then there's curvy lasers. But it is a static spell, so you can just figure out how to dodge this one time and be good at it the rest of the time. Wait for a good cancel. Nicely done. Second non-spell starts introducing these dark bubbles. but the real fun begins at the next non-spell onwards. In the meantime, second spell is a blind killer. You actually do not want to move up here. Instead, just stick at the bottom of the screen, let that fire off, and then... yeah, that's it. That's the whole spell. Good cancel. Third non-spell, you have to do these large horizontal dashes to get through these walls. Well. Third spell here is very spooky if you don't understand how it works, but these clams cannot hit you. The clam that is closest to you, when it reaches your position, will move up and then turn into some bullets. But yeah, that's this entire spell. You don't have to worry about running into the clams because they don't have a hitbox. Fourth non-spell, very fun. They're just gonna skip it. Well, that's a shame. This non-spell forces you to do a lot of movement. I don't think you're able to hit 2 clams. They will always only move 1 clam up. But yeah, you're forced to do a lot of very large horizontal movements here, so... it's a shame they skipped it because it's a very fun non-spell. Yeah, the second one just ignores you. This spell here is just streaming. I think this is static, don't quote me on that, but this is not really a difficult spell anyway. And then we have the final. Not the final, the last spell. So the last spell has this ring of squares, and they're just there to obfuscate the bullets, but these clams will start moving around the outer edge of the screen and fire off aimed bullets towards you. So it's actually just streaming, but it's kinda weird streaming, I guess. Yeah, I don't think they knew how to do that. Alright, that's stage 4. Stage 5 is a very, very difficult stage to score. And because I already said earlier that you have to... if you kill the enemies directly without using the circles to trap them in, then they will fire revenge bullets. Well, it's going to be very, very much a problem on this stage if you don't do it well. But I think their run description said that they did this very nicely, so let's see. That opening section there, you want to catch each set of spirits twice. And killing off the first yin-yang, red yin-yang, killing off the first blue yin-yang that allowed them to kill all of those spirits with blues. For this section, after you kill off the large fairy, they'll drop off a smaller bubble fairy, and you'll want to time it such that the bubble fairy is killed as it overlaps the spirits that are left from the fairy bunches. Very nicely done. That's a perfect stage section so far. You want to sort of time your kills on these fairies a little bit to ensure that they overlap with these yin-yangs properly. Nicely done. That's perfect. You can sort of time it by the firing of those fairies. But yeah, that's literally perfect. Very nicely done. This is not an easy stage section to execute. Alright, Lily White mid-boss for stage 5. The non-spell is static, but the spell itself is very RNG. Nice torch. Alright, let's see how they do on the spell. decent wave. Should be a kill. Nice. And that will drop an 1-up. Post mid-boss section. This part is very difficult as well. But thankfully, all you have to do for this section is to just speed kill all of these enemies. The timing will naturally line up anyway. Yes, the routes are deliberately designed. There's very little room for like changing things around. You have to execute it pretty much all as intended. This section is once again the bubble section from earlier, just a set of 5 instead of just 2 of them. Ah! Oh no! You can see at the right side, 2 of the spirits were left alive, unfortunately. Which means that they ended up firing off the bottom of the screen as well. Ah, missed a couple here, but it's alright. More than enough to reach the last floor requirement. This is not an easy stage section, so this is still very well done. And for that matter, it's generally considered that Border team has a tougher time in this game than the other teams for stages because the homing, it doesn't always target the enemy that you want it to, so that's very good shot control there. Alright, stage 5 boss is Inori. Their non-spells unfold in a pretty peculiar way, but they're sort of static anyway, so you can just route a way through these non-spells. Oh no, she died. Nah, she didn't. Also, the translation is a mess. Alright, this survival is free. Starts out forcing you in the middle, but you just have to move out to the edge of the screen, ideally into a corner. And then just dodge a little bit. The pedals have tiny hitboxes, so you don't have to worry about getting clipped by them. Bombing this non? Alright. This spell is a Catwalk Mini. You can get hit by those fans, but these red fans will explode into literally catwalk patterns. But thankfully you can kill it pretty quickly as well. This non-spell, you have to move up fairly aggressively, or at least you have to move through the wave fairly aggressively. Alright, this spell here is a big advantage for Border team as they're able to hit Inori from anywhere on the screen thanks to Yukari's homing. But you're forced to go around the whole screen here. It's a very difficult pattern, honestly. But it is static. Nice speed kill. And then the final here is pretty straightforward dodging. Those red lightning bullets, rest bullets, they're aimed, so that's the whole pattern. Nicely done. Finally, the last spell. I actually don't remember what this spell is like. I don't encounter it very often, frankly. Nicely done. They're very easily going to beat the 15 billion requirement. So the only thing left is whether they can reach 3,500 enemies killed, which is tallied at the bottom right corner. Alright, this stage section starts out with just overlapping the yin-yangs of the spirits, but you're going to start seeing these yin-yangs forming laser wheels, and you have to kill off all of these yin-yangs in order to make the lasers disappear. So it's a mix of timing the kills while also making sure that you kill them fast enough. So you're gonna have to start killing multiple sets of yin-yangs at once to catch up. Nicely done. Yeah, that's looking to be a perfect set. Very nicely done. Yeah, that's perfect opening. Can be tricky. The timing isn't very generous on that. These you just kill. You'll get the chain from the 3 spirits that orbit the fairies anyway. And these you also just kill. While you're killing them, you'll cancel out some of the bullets, which makes the dodging significantly easier as well. This you will have to delay your kill a little bit, because out of those flowers, some of the fairies will actually start spawning from them. After you kill these, the spirits will start moving down, and that's when you'll have the time to kill with the fairy at the bottom. Nice. And then we have these, which you also just kill. Ah, no! Oh no! That's a disaster. Oh. Alright, that really sucks. But this final section, you just need to, you just kill these orbs and then the middle fairy as quickly as you can. You can spawn extra waves of these if you kill these fast enough. Yeah, that's really bad. The focused bomb will kill off all of the enemies, both the large and small ones, indiscriminately. So, they lost all of the chain there. So with that, I think they just blew their chances at 3,700. Oh. Oh god. Yikes. First non is static, but I don't think they routed it. First spell is a survival. Actually fairly simple though. Alright, second non-spell. This non is kinda simple, but we're gonna start seeing the gimmick here with the power-up. The boss will occasionally confer blessings onto the player that will power up their shot. And this spell is static with some aim components, I believe. Yikes. Yeah, but none of these bullets are cancelable, so the bomb doesn't actually cancel any of the bullets here. Alright, third non-spell here is going to start this general trend. So this is going to be aimed, and then you have to move through these pedal waves. And this spell is going to give an extra life. This spell spawns a lot of the small fairies along with red large fairies around them, in the middle of them, which gives you a lot of chances to get red cubes. And red cubes will give you extends once you get enough of them. Like that. Now, killing the large fairies will cause the spell HP to drain, so you can't like stall that or anything. So it's a preset number of kills, but yeah, they definitely blew their chances at 3,700. They can get a couple extra kills from the second last spell, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Especially, and they definitely lost it. That sucks. The lasers on this spell are static, they're aimed and static, so you can like make this pattern a lot more rounded. Alright, so killing off these fairies here, if you kill these very quickly, then they won't do anything, but if you kill them late enough, then they will actually give you a little bit of chain. Because they will spawn a circle around them, which can give you like 3 fairies a pop. It's good for if you like need a couple extra fairies to close off the end of the run, but it's not going to be enough here. Now it's important that you kill them because otherwise these small fairies are going to spawn in and then spawn in all of these fire bullets. Yeah, that's definitely a rip. Ugh. And then we have the final. So this final has the gimmick where your speed is going to get increased over the course of the spell. And this spell itself is also a very macro-oriented version of VOWG, I'd say. Nice cap. $20 bill. Very nice run. Yeah, apart from the unfortunate one fuck up in stage 6, honestly the rest of the game was pretty damn good, so yeah, GG. This is once again, this is Elegant Impermanence of Sakura. It is a paid fan game on Steam. Released a couple years ago by now, but it's still a very good one. It's one of the rare fan games where the system is practically necessary for both survival and scoring. So it's very interesting in that aspect, but it's very route heavy as a result of that. Alright. We have one last run for today. Is Lorenzo up yet? Let me ping him. Oh, hello. Can't hear you at the moment.
Hello?
Hello? Yep, there you go. Nice. Chat, tell me if the audio balance needs to be adjusted or whatever.
1, 2, 3, testing.
Alright, our final run of today is one of RB's submissions. He did not specify what the runs are about.
Yeah, you might ask yourself why there are question marks in the submission. Well, let's get into the context of this run. So, once my good friend RB had a classmate who had a 7-Eleven nearby, and RB wanted to go there as well, so I can't keep a straight face. He went back home and he did a run on UFO instead.
What the
So
fuck?
call this the 7-11 run, okay? Yeah. By the way, Chris, can you stream the run on
Oh
Discord?
yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, let me do that.
Okay, thank you.
Ah, fuck. Yeah, I'm supposed to hide it. Ah, shit.
You saw nothing, okay?
You saw nothing. You saw nothing. Right. let's just get into the run then.
Yep. So this is basically a survival run, okay? It's Sunny, it's the perfect shot for Lunatic 1cc, and here RB sets up for his first red UFO. We're going to be seeing a lot of reds in this run, because as you know, you don't want to summon blues or rainbows in a survival run. You want resources, so red and greens are your go-to. The first parts of this game, so stage 1 and 2, are going to be quite ordinary. What's this? What's this? Okay,
Well.
he used the bomb. Well, that was to skip one of the hardest patterns of the game, obviously.
Of course, of course. Yes, we all know Nasr mid-boss is really difficult.
Right?
Yeah,
Nasr
they
mid-boss
always
is-
say Nasr mid-boss is like really nasty anyway, so you know, understandable.
Yeah. It's well known that Nazrin is one of the hardest parts of this game, so a bomb here is
Perfectly reasonable.
just the right thing.
And let's summon a green to get the bomb back.
Right? So the green there was a very good choice, so in case he feels threatened, he can bomb here too. But will he need it? Well, it's Nazrin, so he may as well. And yeah, this is a very known survival strat where you stay close to Nazrin, because Senna B is very powerful when you stay close to the boss. So it's very recommended to stay close to the boss as much as you can here. Go through every bullet you can. Go into the cloud of lasers as well for some grays. And down perfectly here. Good cap, good cap.
What's if they're unfocused on this though?
Yeah, why not? Final spell. This one is static, so I don't think it needs a bomb for this. Good.
This is a good survival run so far.
Good execution so far. Perfect survival. No deaths yet.
Nice grazing. For whatever reason, the bullets on that stacked. So
Yeah, why not? You know, there's just a favor on the screen. You can do that.
bomb.
Here the bomb is to get the extra token so you can summon the green here. Very, very cool survival threat. You get the bomb back, so
Another green.
another green for us. You get some grids as well. Another bomb. As you can see, he didn't dodge a single bullet, so We can say this is a good start for survival. Now on to mid boss. Ooh, this pattern. Jokes aside, this pattern is actually pretty hard sometimes.
Yeah, it is. The micro is kind of tight.
Yeah. Another green for us.
Delaying the kill to get a good cancel. Very important.
Nice.
Very important in UFO. This run is AI gen.
A lot of bombs in this first half of the game, but as you can see from his resources, is in a very good position. So use your bombs if you have them. Oh, here the strat is to stay close to the boss, not because you deal more damage, but you can set up for an easier spell 1. And the reason he's timing it down is because he wants consistency on this pattern, so he may as well practice during the run, right?
Always a good idea.
Right. You get some grids as well. But it's insignificant in survival. And there we go.
Huh?
Actually jumps down. Well, that works as well, so...
Not confident in the second wave, understandable.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, Sanae deals a lot of damage point blank. At 4 power. And 3 power and focus.
Yeah. That's why we'll be seeing a lot of Sanae being close to the bosses, especially in the next stage.
This spell is really difficult, so...
Yeah. This may be the hardest spell in the game, so not only 1 bomb, but 2 bombs are good for this. But even 2 bombs aren't enough, right? She still has some life left. Might as well bomb the 3rd time. Damn. No deaths. No deaths. Respect for RB. Now, stage 3. What does this run in store for us, I wonder?
More greens?
More greens? Good, good, good.
Kill the green here, get the cancel.
Yo, nice cancel there.
Wall fairies. Always rough.
Yeah, wall fairies are actually a bit of a pain with Sanae because she doesn't have a very strong shot when it comes to shooting forward, so a bomb is there is okay. Another good survival strat here is to stay the top bomb, so you can deal more damage with the bomb. And in case you want more, you can just practice this pattern, because if you... Staying at the bottom is really hard, because lasers will be crisscross, and you know a lot of players hate crisscross. Yeah, crisscross are bad. Crisscross is bad, so staying at the top is a good strat. Here's the point blank damage we talked about. Very nice. Here again, you do this because it's a safe spot, and safe spots are always easier than usual strats. And moving less means it's easier, so this is a perfect route for survival. Another red for us. This is to clear the spam, which can be very difficult to dodge normally. Perfect.
it's a difficult stage section.
Yeah, cringe section. Well, it's the first step, so it's fine, really.
Yeah, well, at least they got some of the resources back, you know, from the summons.
Oh no, he died. Oh, that's so bad.
Was that actually just a misalignment?
Yeah, bad movement. Yeah, but rip. He's doing the dash plus grace, where not only you dash to the left, but also move down when you reach Ichirun's left side, so you graze more bullets. This can work for survival as well, as we as we said during the entire run.
Stage spell is always easier.
Yeah, of course it's easier than the normal strat, because at the bottom you get crisscross, and crisscross is impossible. You got a pretty good amount of grades, but could have been better without the death. Rip. Very nice. This pattern is another example of crisscross at the bottom of the screen, so the bombs are understandable. You also get close to the boss to deal more damage. And here RB is really making an effort in timing down this pattern and practicing crisscross, his biggest enemy.
Still bombed anyway.
Still bombed. It's okay, it's okay.
It's
Now
always
he'll
good
have
to
to
bomb
dodge.
safety.
Yeah. Now he has no bombs though, and there's still the second half of each run left, so I don't know. He may die. Here again, Sunest is close to the boss, so she can deal more damage, except RB isn't shooting. Oh, this strat is amazing.
This graze is...
Yeah, the non-free graze, super hard, super precise, but it's entirely based on skill, so RB is a Giga Chad doing it. Here on the other end, the Genshin Impact graze, Medama graze, the bullshit graze, it doesn't do it.
who needs it?
Exactly. This is a survival run anyway. Pretty good.
3-1 out of stage 3 is a pretty good pace for 1cc.
Yeah, 3-1. Could have been better, because he used a lot of bombs, but in the end he only died like twice or something, so all good for me. His summon routes look solid as well, so I'm expecting a lot of resources from now, even in later stages.
And this stage can definitely give a lot of resources if you summon right.
Yeah, because this stage has a lot of tokens, so if you play correctly, you're going to have a lot of resources at the end, before Murasa.
Summon a blue here just for the cancel? Okay.
Yeah. Adler here is alright. He may... maybe he was thinking, yeah, I've got already enough resources, maybe I'll go for a blue now.
Alright, nice new ball.
Nice. He gets the life.
Go for another blue, why not? The UFOs just line up anyway.
Yeah, from the section post mid boss you get blues, so may as well summon one. so you get a flashing token.
Oh, rainbow.
Yeah, first rainbow of the run. Which, in case you don't know, transforms all the power items into point items, so he gets a bit of score, and now a red. Because this action is impossible with auto summon.
Nice cancel.
Very nice. Ooh.
Oh.
Early kill. Early kill.
Alright, Murasa
here-
spells are static, so you can just kind of do the same movement every time and you'll be safe. So,
Exactly. And Sanabi wants to get closer so she can deal more damage, except RB is only practicing, so he's not shooting. And you may have noticed that by the time he reached Murasa, he had already 40,000 grays, which is a big amount. Let's say a big amount.
okay, first spell. Very simple spell.
Mm-hmm. Here again, he's practicing. You probably saw this strat is in one of the scoring runs, and since it's one of the most popular grazes and it's said to be easy, maybe you wanted to try it.
Yeah.
Very nicely performed, even optimized by moving further right compared to the usual strat. It gets a lot of grace. Now for Sanabi Vortex, which can be very cringe.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice capture.
nice capture.
Oh. Ah, that's fine. Is it fine? It's fine.
Yeah. Yep. Very solid survival for a 1cc. He hasn't died on Murasa yet, right?
Yeah, no.
Very good.
And then survival.
Please don't die to the meme.
That's one way to do the four corners trap.
And
Nice.
nice. Gets in the spot for extra grays as well. 82k PAV entering stage 5. Pretty good, pretty high grays. Let's see what he does here. Will he go for resources or lose? Oh, very nice timing here. He gets all the blues. Will he get the full 295? Oh, almost. Nice. Here he sets up for the rainbow. Ooh, scary.
E.
Scary. Okay. Another blue here. Can he kill all the yin yangs to get 200 blue items?
Got it.
Yes, he can.
Eh?
And he suicides because Nazran is impossible, remember? You need to stay close to the boss. Again, Nazran is impossible. A bomb here is the best thing. Oh!
Oh, that that actually hurts.
Ah, that hurts so bad. Oh, can you recover? Can you recover? He managed to summon the 256 without actually getting half of the items. Oh.
Oh no.
Okay, he's setting up for the blue.
Alright, alright. It's okay, it's okay.
Oh, please, please be above 500. 498. Okay, okay. Rip. That was painful. Now he died, so I said, yeah, let's go for greens. I need resources. That was a bad death.
Yeah. The occurrence hard, need to get some resources. Shotgun, nice.
Shotgun, more damage in, pretty good.
Heavy lasers are impossible.
Exactly.
So we bomb.
It's 50k graze. Now for an actual impossible pattern. Yeah, exactly. Order of Justice. Cringe spell in my opinion, but not exactly the hardest pattern in late game. Will he do it?
Nice dash. But what are these walls? Safe spot.
Imagine doing this at the bottom. Couldn't be me. Again, he's not shooting because there's a chance that as soon as he kills the boss, the boss may ram the player. So he just waits until the end to avoid the death. Pretty good survival strat, by the way. Now he really wants to capture this and the final spell because he doesn't really want to be on low power for stage 6, which, let's say, will affect the summon route. So please capture CC. Nice.
Okay, so summon a green, and then
Yep.
get more resources.
Right now he has 2 lives and soon to be 3 bombs. Will what?
1 item short?
Okay. I guess he didn't want to fill it up. Okay. Well, it's alright.
Eh.
Oh, he
The
POCs!
pork!
Oh, my heart. Oh, as a scorer, this hurts. Oh. Oh.
It's okay. 1 bomb kills everything, and then
Right.
summon
Will he
the
make
blue.
out for it?
Very nice. Kill
Of
the
course,
last
here's
one.
some blue, because there are a lot of blue things in the stage, so summoning a blue is the best aesthetic things you can do.
And then summon a green here.
Nice.
And we can summon a blue at the end of this.
Ooh. He gets most of the fairies of the blue wave as well. Nice.
I actually used every single token.
As I said, very strong summon route, which can be understandable for 1cc. Some players want to really have a good summon route in order to have the maximum amount of resources, because this game is really hard. Now to end off this attempt for 1cc, 2 lives into Byakuren can be a bit difficult to clear, especially for a first clear. But he's dodging. Ooh, he dodged Geo perfectly with a capture, which is very rare for a 1cc.
Second on, very difficult as well.
Exactly. He's doing the micro strat at the middle. Ooh, very nice dodges. He's just going for it.
Magic Butterfly is static. Nice.
And remember, he used the 3 bombs on Kogasa's last spell, the hardest pattern of the game. So this means that he really practiced Geo a lot to capture it.
Very nice strat here. Good cap. Shotgun for damage.
Nice. Now you may notice he has 2 lives and a few fragments, and this is a bit unusual because this means he summoned an odd number of red UFOs, which doesn't make any sense because you get a life every 2 red summons, so summoning 7 reds doesn't get you anywhere. So it's better if you summon 6 or 8, but here RB summoned 7 reds for some reason.
And how many bomb pieces is that?
1, I think. And overall, throughout the entire run, he summoned a grand total of 11 green summons, for a total of 700 summons and 11 green summons. Guess what? 7-11.
Beat the game, score the game with 7 reds and 11 green summons. It's it's a pretty tall order because this is a lot more resources than you would normally summon for a score run.
And he's LNNing Byakuren too.
Yeah.
Can he do it? Can he LNN? Yeah. He ends this 1cc with LNN Byakuren for a total of 2.4 billion.
For an 18 resource summon run.
18 resource summons, 56k grays, 2.4 bill.
But yeah, congrats on the survival 1cc.
Incredible 1cc by RB. If you want to copy this route, go ahead. It's perfect for survival. It bombs every single hard pattern. You stay close to the bosses. It gets you a lot of resources. It's very solid. It also gets some score as well if you want to show it to your friends. So
Good.
if you want to copy this route, go ahead. It's perfect.
Just maybe
So
don't die in stage 5. Yeah, that one.
yeah, don't die in stage 5 and don't POC in stage 6.
Why? What kind of? How do you even come up with like this kind of run for yourself just based off of a 7-Eleven?
I have no idea. And with that said, it's still fascinating. This could have been PND.
This could have been PNT.
Just think about it. This could have been PND with 18 resource
18
summons.
resource. Oh, you usually only summon what? Two reds is like the extreme one, but
You can get PND with for example 6 reds and 1 green. That is usually the go-to route for PND. But here some 7 reds and 11 greens.
and would have gotten it if not for like just one accidental death after Nasrin.
Yeah. He could have gotten PND, but he made a few mistakes.
Yeah.
Then again, this run isn't exactly easy to get because, as you can see, the grace is insanely high, and it needs to be insanely high to get PND with this route.
Yeah, this route has so much fewer score summons in general that like each summon has to be worth a lot more, and well, those
Yep.
extra resources also need to go somewhere, I guess.
Yep.
So yeah, that's that's Arby's I guess what 7-Eleven lunatic clear. All right, that's all we have for today's TRS. I know, unfortunately, we had to skip 2 of the runs. One was a duplicate submission, and one was, well, they didn't even open up the download link. So, but we'll contact those players after this stream is over. But yeah, next week, Gastari will be back. We are actually so far ahead that Gastari is going to have another week of 7 runs that he has to commentate, and will be like a solid week and a half ahead of him in terms of submission date.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's the one with the power up now. But yeah, before we go, couple things. First, TRS has a Discord server that Nightbell posted a little earlier. Join that if you haven't already. We post about upcoming TRS streams as well as a bunch of TRS events. And if you have any requests to be made regarding any submissions that you have prior, either replacing the replay link or updating your run description, or even changing the run that you've got submitted in there entirely, just changing what's in that slot, you can always make those requests in the TRS Inquiries channel. And you can also ask for specific commentators in there, and we'll mark your run accordingly on the sheet. Other than that, we've also got a new submission team opened up at the start of this month. Gastari has termed the submission theme the most ridiculous strats. The name's a bit unoriginal, but the goal is to just submit a run that has the most ridiculous, hilarious, absurd, and unexpected strats that you can pull off and include throughout your run. You do not have to clear. You can submit game overs to TRS. But if you do submit for this team, please specify in your comment that you're submitting for this team, And for this submission, it will count towards your monthly limit. So if you're submitting for this theme, then it will count for this month. It will count towards your February submission, so you won't be able to submit another run. You can submit now at any time, and yeah, that's the general idea.
This is your chance to be creative, so join the server, be a gamer, send us the replays, and we'll review them.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
I think that's all.
Yeah, that's all we have for this week of TRS. Just one thing from me personally before we go. What you see in the stream background currently, that is one of the spells that is in the newest Touhou fan game, Abyss Soul Lotus. This is a game that has been in development for 7 years, since 2016, and was just released on Steam as a paid fan game. If you are interested in it, go ahead and check it out, or just watch a YouTube video of it, because it's a very high quality, very highly polished fan game that definitely deserves more recognition. I have submitted a run of this to TRS already, so that should be commentated in about like 3 weeks time probably. But yeah, this is one of the spells, and every single one of those lasers has a constantly active hitbox, and they rotate. That's the entire spell. It's actually pretty cool. So if you haven't, you go ahead and check it out on YouTube or something. It's a very neat fan game. But yeah, that's all I have for this week's TRS. We will see you next week again, assuming nothing goes wrong. Gustari will be back next Saturday, and likely I'll be back next Sunday for more TRS submissions. February just started. The submission, you are allowed one submission every month now, so go ahead and submit your runs if you haven't already for this month, and we'll see you next time.